Gauri is the mother of Sri Ganesha. And she produced Sri Ganesha because she was having a bath, and to protect her chastity, she created Sri Ganesha. In the same way, Kundalini is the Gauri, and we have got Ganesha sitting in the Muladhara chakra. So we have Muladhara as the abode of the Gauri, of Kundalini. And the protection of the Kundalini is done by Sri Ganesha. As you know, Sri Ganesha is the deity which is for our innocence. Only Sri Ganesha could be there in that position, because as you know, the pelvic plexus looks after all the excretory functions. And it is Sri Ganesha only who can really stay there without getting dirtied by the surroundings. He's so pure, he's so innocent. While the Kundalini is the virgin mother of Sri Ganesha. People have started talking against Mary by saying that there was something wrong. How could a virgin get a child? Because we do not understand it is God. And in the area of God, anything is possible. They are above all these things. And they can create anything. And in any way, Ganesha had to be born out of a virgin because he was so pure. So Kundalini has to be supported by Sri Ganesha. If Sri Ganesha is weak, then Kundalini cannot be supported. Sri Ganesha has to support her in the awakening part, first of all. When the Kundalini is getting awakened, Sri Ganesha stops all the functions that it has to perform. All the functions are stopped. So that you must have seen I sit for 9 hours, 10 hours sometimes. I don't get up. Because all functions of Sri Ganesha, everything stops when the Kundalini is rising. She is fully supported and looked after by Sri Ganesha. Kundalini is the energy that you know which gives you your ascent. But it's a virgin energy. It's an energy that is detached. It doesn't get attached to any center, to any function. Only one function it has to do is to slowly and steadily pass through all these centers, nourish them, give them whatever they like, whatever they want, whatever they can bear. and slowly and steadily open the Sahasrara. She's coiled up in 3.5 coils. It has a mathematical significance. Why 3.5 coils? She's, I think in my book I have described about her. But though she is a virgin energy, still she is so wise, so sensible, so loving, and so caring that when she rises, she doesn't give any complications to you. She doesn't even make you feel that she's rising. In some people she does, when the people are not normal, some obstruction is there, then you do feel. But normally, you do not even feel how she is rising. She goes up in a way automatically, supported by the whole mechanism. When she rises from one center to another center, the lower center first opens for her to enter in, and then it augments. It closes down so that it can keep the Kundalini in its place. Then it goes higher, there again, till it pierces through Sahasrara. This ascending of Kundalini goes on. So one has to try to meditate in such a manner that this working of the Kundalini is facilitated. The chakras are cleansed out, and ultimately you are in a state of meditation. It's not a question of how to go into meditation. But it's the question how to be in meditation all the time. So as you know that Kundalini, when she reaches the Agya Chakra and when she opens Agya Chakra, then you can be in thoughtless awareness. Then you don't think. Thinking just stops. You watch everything, just watch. But you do not get involved into what you are watching, but you just watch. And that watching itself gives you the growth within. Think of the tree which is, say, in a turmoil or during earthquake. It won't grow. When the earthquake stops, everything becomes quiet, everything is peaceful, then only the tree can grow. In the same way, our growth can only take place if we are peaceful within ourselves. So for a Kundalini growing wider and wider and rising higher and higher, first thing is we must have peace within ourselves. But this peace is possible if you can make really peace with others. If you cannot make peace with others who are in Sahaja Yoga, who are in the collective, if you are in a turmoil, this Kundalini can never rise. That is why collectivity is so important. Without collectivity, your Vishuddhi cannot open. And without collectivity, you cannot have the growth of your spirituality. If the growth of the spirituality, as they say, the tree of life is upside down and the roots are in the brain. And this Kundalini has to go and water that brain. As we water the roots, then it starts flowing downward. And that's how we start expanding. When you start expanding, then you touch the depth of your divinity. And once you have touched the depth of your divinity, then you start working it out in such a manner that people will know that you are yogis, you are people of higher realm, you have something great. It is not how many times you read something, it's not how many times you talk about Sahaja Yoga, it's not even how many times you just go on reciting names, but how many times from your heart your pure desire is to ascend. If this pure desire cuts upon you, then the first thing and the last thing you will do is to meditate. You can't do without it. Even if you try, you can't do without it. If you will sleep without meditating, you think, oh, I have not meditated. Not out of guilt, but I have missed something. I have missed something. That should happen to us. So this power of Gauri has to be respected because she is our mother. She is our individual mother. She has given us second birth. She is the one who knows all about us. She is so gentle, so kind. How she slowly rises. She doesn't give us trouble. She takes all the trouble of penetrating through these centers and she gives us the second birth. Because she understands everything. She knows everything. She organizes everything. She brings forth all the beauty that you are. Once you start developing that beauty within yourself, then you will be surprised how powerful you are. Because all these things are of the same nature. Is the truth that you discover, is the same as the beauty, is the same as the joy. You don't have to think that joy is separate, truth is different, beauty is different. Because we are not yet at that point, we just take one facet. But once we reach that point, then the whole thing seems to be one. There is no differentiation at all. It's all one. Many facets of a diamond, but it's one diamond. And that diamond is yourself, your spirit.